Dial Models Workshop.
Hi, it's Yeji.
And Clint.
Hey, it's Larry. You are entering Models Workshop After Hours, a modeling podcast where we talk about miniatures, model painting, and we cuss a lot. If you can be offended, we're probably going to offend you. Then you're going to laugh and you're going to feel bad. And then we'll offend you again. And then you'll laugh again. You see the pattern. So kick out, sit back, grab your brush, grab your paints, and get ready to have some fun.
I can spray freely now, my paints are here. So many colors, I don't know what to choose. I'll start with a base coat and a wash, and then I'll finish with a highlight or two.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Models Workshop After Hours, the podcast where we're probably going to make you blush a lot, and probably going to make you laugh a lot, and probably going to almost get you fired for falling out of your chair. Sorry about that random drug test. Can't help it. So today is like super special because it's like throwing back to the old school. Yay! What have you guys been doing?
Switching over to day shift, which has been making me very, very cranky and very sleepy all in one go. So that's so much fun. So much.
No, it really has. It really has not been. She's been cranky to all of us.
I've been mainly non-talkative.
You have been, even when you're up, and I'm just like, are you okay? I'm fine. Okay, are you sure? Yes, daylight fucking sucks. Okay, just making sure. I'm gonna go hide in the corner now with a steak. But as an added bonus to the day shift and, you know, the sunlight and all that other stuff, that's your cue.
Nah, daylight's overrated.
That's time for you to go.
Jeez.
No, it is.
Hi.
Like, yeah. I don't know.
For those
Day
of
shift
you
is weird.
For those of you who do not recognize that voice, that is Clint. Clint is over on first shift now, so he will actually be on the podcast again. Yeah.
Like, seriously, he has not been on day shift.
It's been years.
Oh my god, since before the military. And even military, it was like sometimes forced day shift, but like you were majority night shift.
Yeah.
So it's been like over 8 years.
You're the guy that always volunteered for the night?
Voluntold.
Voluntold. The good old voluntold.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, so it's really cool having Clint back on the show. Mark is unable to be here because he had some out-of-town business to go do. So we'll talk a little bit about the post-Adepticon from the Adepticon point of view. But we're going to hold off because I believe Drew is also going to be joining us in that episode. And Drew and Mark are going to give us the breakdown of the actual Adepticon from the people who are lucky enough to actually go. You lucky bastards! Aren't you? Still jelly. So...
I think... next year, I think we're going to make it.
I think I'm going to probably throw my one big event of the year and go, I want to go to this. And definitely go next year. It looked like a lot of fun for the most part. But yeah. So what did you think from the outsider's view pointing in? What did you think of Adepticon?
It looked like a lot of cool fun. The classes looked like they were freaking full, and a lot of people had a lot of good times. I know a couple of people really enjoyed Mark's class.
Yeah, that was cool.
The competition itself, though, I wasn't really feeling it this year.
I wasn't as impressed as I was with a lot of the works as I was kind of last year. I mean, there were some impressive works, but at the same time, I feel like it just kind of, maybe it's because of World Fair?
The Chicago
World Expo this year, maybe, I don't know. But I felt like some of the quality as far as first cuts went, like it wasn't there.
And I've seen a couple pieces that didn't make first cut that really had me raising an eyebrow, like, hey, this is what I entered, and I'm like, that didn't make first cut? What the fuck?
Yeah, and there were some things that that made first cut, I was like, wait, that made it instead of this? Like, what?
Mm-hmm. And some of the things that were in categories, I'm just kind of like seriously raising an eyebrow. And I'm not going to call any particular, I'm going to try my best not to call any particular piece out, because that would just be unfair, and we're trying not to be negative about some of the stuff. But honestly, I agree. I think that the overall quality, if you look at last year to this year, it just seems like, now the stuff that won definitely deserved to win, even though my order was a little bit different. But it was still. But the thing is that last year there was a lot more contention for top 3. This year it seemed like it was pretty fucking obvious what the top 3 was going to be, and there really wasn't a fourth choice that really could have snuck into that top 3. But the year before there was like 6 or 7 models that everyone was like, oh no, I think that one's going to be third, or that one's going to be second, and yeah, it just seemed like there was a lot more stuff out there that was really eye-catching, that just wasn't there this year.
Yeah.
Not to be, and it could be that I think a lot of the foreign, I don't think there was as many of the foreign teams there this year.
No, the big names were there.
All of them?
Yeah.
No, not all of them.
It just, like I said, it really seemed...
Maybe like 75%, but that's still...
Yeah, I mean, a lot were still there.
All right. I don't know what it is. Maybe it is the expo. Maybe people are holding pieces off to the expo. But a lot of people double enter, and expos are more about showing off than prizes, so that kind of makes me go, eh? Maybe people didn't travel in because they can only go to Chicago once this year. So some of the local crowd didn't show up, or some of the U.S. crowd didn't show up. So I can speculate all day long. It just, honestly, it just didn't seem like the quality that was there last year was there this year. A lot of the people that placed in the top 3 last year, their entries this year were lacking. Highly lacking, actually. It seemed like there was a lot of confusion on what category stuff was entered in. Like, I looked at one piece and it was like large figure, and I'm like, that's not a large figure. Also, there was like a model that was in single model fantasy that they really need to step up the game when it comes to their rules on bases and what is a base, what counts as a base. Because there's one piece that was entered in the single fantasy that was on a fucking diorama. Like the base was like 10 times bigger than the model itself, but it was still a single model, and they shouldn't let stuff like that slide. That should be a diorama, period. I get decorative bases, but there has to be a maximum to what is considered a decorative base, and it was kind of like that the year before, but this year there was a couple of them, and I was just like, holy shit, that's not even a base anymore. That's a fucking full scene.
Yeah, that kind of happened at LVO too, so...
Yeah, that's a kind of a common thing at painting competitions, period. And I think, honestly, it needs to be cracked down, because this is about single figure. This isn't about the diorama contest. And some online contests should actually really would do to learn about that as well. You know, not to name any names over at the Weird Forum.
Or just change the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's
if they
not
said it to, Iron Diorama, then I wouldn't have been so mad.
Yeah, it's because that's basically what it is, and the painting competitions don't need to go that way too. Decorative bases, that's fine. Bases that are 8 inches tall and fully decked out, that's not a single figure anymore. That's a diorama. Also, whenever they're presenting the categories to us to vote online, because I voted on everything, even though at one point I said I wasn't going to, I voted on everything. They really need to make it where it doesn't randomize, because I want to vote on all the chibis, so I can vote on them as a category, because chibis are painted differently than other models. So I should be able to do all the chibis, and then all the busts, then all the everything else.
Well, they were having issues with the site too.
No, mine randomized on every single time. I'd vote, and it would take me to the next miniature, and the next miniature would be in a completely different category. Then I'd vote, and it would take me to a miniature that's in a completely different category again. And they kept doing that over and over and over and over. And I'm just like, I don't like this. I want to vote for all the models in a particular category so I can weigh them against themselves.
In a way, it kind of makes sense too, though, because you're just judging each piece individually versus going, hey, this was better than this one, and blah, blah, blah.
Yes and no, but if I'm voting bus, I want to vote for bus. I don't want to vote for the large figure because, okay, here's the thing. You take me to a single fantasy, I'm going to judge it differently on different attributes of that model than I am the single sci-fi because they're painted differently. They're not painted the same. Is there stuff that's shared? Yes, but the artistic style between a fantasy piece and a sci-fi piece is inherently different because of the entire sci-fi versus fantasy. And the same thing goes with busts. They're painted differently because they're larger. They have a different look to them. Same thing goes with chibis. They're more cartoonish. I shouldn't and I don't want to. And vehicles. I shouldn't be judging a vehicle right after a single figure and then go to a squad. It shouldn't jump around like that. I should be able to vote. I should have the option without having to back and reload the category over and over and over without having to play tricks of being able to vote categorically instead of the random. And here's another thing. It would show me that I'm done voting and I would go back in and hunt down models that I know for a fact I hadn't voted for and had to vote for them. And also the bullshit that they did with the little rotating miniature, the pictures that would rotate on them by themselves. Stop that. Do you know how hard it was for I'm sitting there, I'm trying to vote, and I'm on my phone, and I'm looking at a picture, and then it would switch. And it's like, stop. I don't need for you to automatically switch the fucking picture for me when I'm looking at a model. I liked it before when it was 3 pictures and they were stacked on top of each other. It's not convenient. It's a fucking annoying. It used to be, I liked it before when it had the 3 or 4 pictures stacked on top of each other, and you would scroll down and you would look at all the different pictures. I don't need it auto-rotating. I don't need any of the stupid fancy shit, and I don't need it randomized. Just give it to me. And also, to the people that are out there fucking advertising their models or their friends' models, fucking stop that shit. That's annoying. Win on the fucking model itself. Don't sit there and vote monger and go, hey, come vote for my piece, or hey, come vote for so-and-so's piece. That's fucking horrible. If you don't think you can win just by the piece that you fucking entered, then sorry. And it was really sad because it was some of the bigger names that were doing it. I'm just like, man, this is sad. This is fucking sad. It's a fucking advertising campaign. It's sad that they feel that they have to fucking do that. At least I didn't see any sponsored advertisements this year. That was a bonus. But ultimately, the pieces that won were gorgeous. Mark picked up a golden crystal paintbrush, and I'm using that term very loosely. He ended up having a first cut and single miniature with a chibi, which in my boat is a win. It was the Necromouser, and the Necromouser is awesome. Now, the last complaint that I have about the crystal paintbrush competition. Do you want to carry on this one? Actually,
sure,
yeah,
it's your last.
It is.
I was pretty pissed off about it too, because honestly, as an artist, like, you want the trophies, you know, or like displaying a trophy is different from displaying a lanyard with a plastic piece to it.
Let's fill people in who might not have seen it. All right, so crystal paintbrush used to give you a statue, and it was a quote unquote crystal paintbrush, and the tip of the brush used to have what color, like silver, bronze, or gold, depending on what you win. Well, I guess those were too expensive. And honestly, sure, I can see it. They're probably bloody fucking expensive. So this year, instead of the trophy, they gave the winner a check for $200, which was nice if you won the category.
The first place winner $200. I think it was less for the silver and bronzes.
Yes.
Right. So the winner took $200 and literally a credit card sized plastic thing that said Crystal Paintbrush 2017, and the lanyard was the color that you won. This is the equivalent of going out and winning a golden demon and them handing you a fucking lanyard, because that's exactly what it is. And I understand that they need to save money, or they want to save money, so they wanted to downgrade the thing. Whoever's bright idea it was, honestly, to give a fucking credit card, a plastic credit card size thing out with a cheap ass China made lanyard. It was stupid. It was stupid. I don't give a shit who it was that made that decision. That was dumb. If your painters that are entering the competition can make something better in 5 fucking minutes and it looks better, then your prize isn't that good. The trophy sucks. You cannot display it, and it's dumb. There's 101 different things you could go and do better. It looks like some rejected trash from a
even coins would have been better. Metal coins would have been better.
They would probably have been cheaper too. Challenge coins. The new rave is challenge coins, and that's a military throwback because military does a lot of challenge coins. Well, Privateer Press started doing challenge coins, and that's actually not a bad idea. There's one of our buddies, Scott, picked up a couple challenge coin trophies at Adepticon as well, and they looked good. And here's the deal. Yeah, is it 200? It's like $250 to set up the original die cast. It is. It's like $250. So the initial cost is $250. But each coin after that is somewhere between $2 and $8 typically, unless you have something super, super crazy. That's $8 for a trophy for a competition where you can win up to $10,000. So right there is where you save your money, and it doesn't have to be super fucking ornate. You can get a moderate one. It's like $4 a coin. You just put a different finish on it. And that you can display because they have display cases for coins. The military have them left, right, center. They have things you can put on your desk. They have them you can put on the wall. You have all this other stuff. There's a billion fucking laser cutters out there that can cut specialty racks for your coins. You know, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Privateer Press is doing it. The people love getting challenge coins. Do you think someone would have rather got a coin or a piece of shit plastic little fucking credit card thing that's going to hang on a nail on the wall by the lanyard going, hey, look, guys, I won a crystal paintbrush category. And they're like, oh, that's kind of neat. What type of competition is that? Oh, it's only one of the largest miniature painting competitions in the entire United States, and it used to be this real prestigious thing. Hey, look, see this crystal paintbrush right here? That used to be the award that they gave the year prior, but now they're giving me something that looks like it came out of Loot Crate.
Not that there's anything wrong with Loot Crate.
Hey, now. Some of the Loot Crate shit is actually pretty good.
Yes, but it looks like one of the random throw-in items to bulk the value up a little bit. I don't mean it's like the Funko Pops or the T-shirts that you get. It's like the button. And only every once in a while are those cool.
I like the buttons, damn it.
Yeah, it depends. Some of the buttons are cool. Some of them, not so much. You can't say that every Loot Crate button is great.
True.
So, what are you guys working on now that we got the Adepticon bitch out of our system? Or I did, at least. If y'all want to continue, feel free.
No, I'm good.
No, that's pretty much everything.
No, Larry, you bitched it out. We're going to go ahead and let you take the hate emails from this one.
Well, no, I mean, the lanyard thing sucks. It was their choice. I think it was a wrong choice. Maybe they'll fix it next year. Maybe they won't.
You chose poorly.
Exactly.
It was a horrible decision. When the random smaller miniature company gives an award for best painted army at their game tournament, and it looks better than your painting tournament trophy, you got issues. Fix yourself. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself, because pissed off painters are bad for your health.
To answer your other question, though, I am currently working on old school Necromunda.
Old school, like actual old school minis?
Yeah, like the ones that came out in 1990 and earlier.
Like things that were born before me?
Oh, wow. Those are old school. So that's like first generation Necromunda.
Yeah. And GW has come a long way. Let me at least put that out there.
Yeah. Well, some of my Eldar are actually still Rogue Trader sculpts. So yeah, trust me, I know. In my own army, it's like, hey, look at this 900-year-old sculpt compared to this beautiful fucking laser printed and precision cast plastic injection mold.
Yeah. They're fun though. I'm enjoying them.
It's like taking an old Ralpartha model and painting it.
And then as soon as I get this done, I have 2 things in the works that I'm hoping to get done for ReaperCon.
Yeah.
And Yeji's currently working on Lehman Russ.
The tank? No, because I know she fucking
No.
hates Admech.
No. Lehman Russ, the character. And then she's also has the 2 wolves that need to get finished up.
Hey, they're in the process.
Yes, they are.
Well, and that's why I kind of want to do like a speed paint, because it feels like they're taking forever. Yes, I've gotten so much faster than I was before, but it feels like they're taking forever because it's like I'm already on my 6th or 7th session with Lehman Russ right now.
Well, he's a pretty damn ornate model, to be fair.
He's big too. He's like about 2 inches tall, not including his base.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a tall dude.
Well, it also doesn't help that the commissioner was like, I want him done better than you did Dynat.
Yeah.
And then another guy comes up and goes,
Well,
so I see how you're doing.
Yeah, the guy that did Dynat, he's like, yeah, so can you paint him better than Lehman Russ?
So it goes, yeah, I have an Armin I want painted, and I see how you're doing Lehman Russ. I want him better than you're doing Lehman Russ.
Gotta love competition.
Yep.
So last week, I worked on one of my Dobby models for one of our listeners out there in listener land.
Is it Dobby or Dobby?
It's Dobby, I think.
Since it's not officially licensed, is it official?
No, it's Obi-Wan Elf.
so then it's Dobby for licensing purposes.
Yeah, but I worked on him like 90% feet, and I was like, oh, you know what? I need some milliput. And so I go to Hobby Lobby today because I'm also out of white spirits. And
Wait,
of course,
you did it with your feet?
No, I did Dobby's feet. Okay, so what happened? All right,
Gotta
so
put your pronouns in the right place.
All right, so the feet had the melted feet syndrome, like where the feet were the bottom of the mold, but there wasn't a pore. The mold was literally, the resin was poured directly into where the feet are, instead of the feet having shape and having a spout leading out like a standard pour. So when they were poured, the feet are flat, like really, really flat. And while the guy I'm painting it for honestly probably wouldn't have given 2 rat shits, I did. So I brought out my RAS files and everything, and I actually went through and carved the feet and made them defined, gave them an arch, defined the toes, made the toes look like actual toes instead of blocks of stumps with toenails, and that good stuff. And then I went through and removed some of the harsher mold lines and some air bubbles and all that good stuff. So, and started smoothing him out and just doing the general prep stuff that I do, which translates into way more than anybody else ever does. And I was like, oh, I need milliput. So I went to Hobby Lobby today, picked up some white spirits and picked up some other goodies that I'll talk about here in a bit, and completely forgot about picking up milliput. Totally forgot. Just completely blanked on it. So it's like, well. So since I can't work on prepping him and finishing him and getting him ready for because he's the Dobby, which is really sad because I've spent 3 hours preparing him, and it's a model that's actually going to be used in a 2-hour paint. Like, I'm going to live stream the entire thing. I'm going to sit here, airbrush the entire model, 1 session, boom, done. And it's going to be 2 hours. That's it. So I've spent more time prepping him than I am going to spend on painting him. So since I don't have milliput, I'm actually working on a model for...
That's how it happens normally anyways.
Well, yeah. For me especially. I spent 60 hours putting that model together and 5 painting it. That's happened. That actually did happen.
Or like, I have not painted it after I've spent all this work on it.
There is that as well. I've done that a few dozen times.
He still has some projects unfinished.
A couple dozen. 1 or 2 here and there.
Dozen.
1 or 2 dozen here and there. So I'm actually currently working on yet another project, and it is a Velma, or Vima, since it's not licensed either, from a buddy of ours that I cannot pronounce his name, so Yeji, take it away.
In Mexico, named Heriberto. He does a lot of sculpting for a lot of different companies out there.
Right. So he did a Velma piece, or Vima, and I'm currently prepping it. And I know he also listens to the podcast. I think this is one of his earlier pieces. You make your holes too small, dude. Like all the tabs that are supposed to fit in these holes, the holes are too small for the tab on every single piece. So I'm having to file everything down. It's like, oh my God. And definitely need some milliput for this model too, because there's going to be some horrible join lines. Once it's done, though, I've seen the test piece that he had done that was put together, and it looks pretty damn nice. He did a good job. The sculpting is top notch, barring the fact that there's issues with fitting, which it could honestly be the resin that was used. It could be that the resin that was used had shrinkage that he wasn't factoring in, and so it shrunk a little bit in certain aspects.
Or, Larry just can't get it in the hole.
I'm fine getting in the hole. Trust me, I'm used to it. I know what it's like getting big things into smaller holes. These are just a little too small.
That sounds like an excuse. But does he do his own casting, or does he go through a company?
I don't remember. I think he said these ones went through a Mexican caster.
Yeah, it could be, and this is some weird resin too. It's like lime green. I have never seen fucking lime green resin models before.
It's not lime green. It's more like a in between like a jade green and like a pastel green.
Or a mojito.
It looks like pistachio. It's slightly darker than pistachio ice cream.
Yep.
So, of course, now.
I can't even remember now.
Yeah, Velma was.
I'll have to open it up.
She's right there if you want to open her up.
Yeah.
Open her up, Clint. Open her up. Open her wide up. So everyone gets to hear what they're used to hearing from me. My files.
See it, right?
And I'm about to kill you.
Sorry. Talk to Roberto.
Well, and it's because I'm younger than both of you, so I hear at a higher pitch.
Yeah, whatever.
I could say other things, but I'm not going to get slapped through the computer. There's other things that hear at higher pitches.
I think she's lost on that one. Yeah.
She's probably like, what hears at a higher pitch? There's probably some of our listeners.
Teenagers, cats. I don't
dogs, dog whistle.
I don't know why you're laughing, Clint.
Some of our listeners are probably literally screaming at the radio right now, going, he's talking about dog whistles, Yeji. Fucking dog, you whistles.
Whittles?
Because dogs hear incredibly high pitches.
I know, but I don't get why that was a funny joke.
Back in Clint and my generation, they actually used to sell dog whistles in stores as like little novelty items, so I guess that's why we find it funny. All the younger generation are like, I don't know what that's funny for, and all the older generations are like, snicker, snicker, snicker. Snicker nap.
There's apps for that.
Oh, that's why they don't sell the... There's an app for that.
There's an app for that now.
Duh.
Wow.
There is actually an app that I saw that turns your ringtone into an incredibly high tone, so you can get phone calls and text messages in... Yeah, so you could get phone calls and text messages in class and your teachers can't hear them.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Yep. And it is the truth. As we grow older, our high pitch, we can't hear high tones as well. It's the ones that get damaged the easiest. So, like, I can look at my...
Also, if you wear headphones, like, that kills it even faster.
Or if you're in the military, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why I
help.
I hate this color. I don't even know why I'm fucking using it. Ugh. Plague brown or parasite brown. It doesn't like spread easy like butter. It just like either clumps or it's like too watery, and you're just like, stop being like real poop. Just be like buttery poop.
Just be buttery poop.
Oh man. So yeah, this is what I'm working on right now, and I worked on the Adobe last week. I just need to order some. It's sitting in my the Models Workshop wish list, the one that I have that people can order off of on Amazon if they want to do donations. Also,
see, please someone get
me
Milliput because I'm too old and I'm gonna forget.
Well, my ADD also doesn't help. I walk in a Hobby Lobby and I'm like, oh, shiny! Everything. Like, everything is shining. Everything is shiny. Squirrel, 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 squirrel. No, it's also, the wish list isn't only for donations, even though if you want to buy it, that's fine. It's also anything that I see on Amazon that I might want to look at later, or might want to purchase later. I'll throw it in that category as well.
He'll put condoms on there, guys.
No, but I actually had a whole bunch of pewter lapel pins because I like lapel pins, and I had like 20 of them in there, and I was like, I probably should remove these from the Models Workshop stuff because it's not really Models Workshop oriented. So,
for a second, I was like, what are lapel pins? And I was like, oh, wait, I know what those are.
If you're ever at Walmart and you see those little boxes, like the Pokemon cards that have the collector's pins inside them, those. For anyone in listener lands that doesn't know what I'm talking about. Lapel/hat pins. I collect those. I'm actually looking at about 20 different Pokemon pins sitting on my board. And then other stuff, like some Yu-Gi-Oh!, a Mario, a Yoshi.
Oh, guess what I did?
Oh, I have no idea.
I bought, we went to Hot Topic because Clint showed me photos that they had merchandise for Yuri on Ice stuff. And I was like, ah! So we had to go and I got 2 shirts with Yuri on Ice. And if anybody doesn't know what that is, it's an anime and it's amazing and you should all go fucking watch it.
Where's it available on?
On Crunchyroll.
Oh. I need to break down and subscribe to Crunchyroll. I did finish up 7 Deadly Sins. I finished up 7 Deadly Sins up until the point in season 2 where they don't have any more shows. That show is actually really good.
Yep.
It's good and weird in a way that at some points you're like, why am I watching this? And at some points you're like, I can't wait till the next episode.
I feel like that's a lot of action animes.
Yeah, it's kind of like, why am I watching this? And you watch it and you're like, I don't know why I'm watching it, but I really want to see the next episode, so I'm going to go ahead and watch more of it. And then you grow attached to the characters.
And it's better than American TV.
Most of it, yeah. And then you grow really attached to some of the characters, and you're like, there's something that happened at the end of season 1, and I'm not even going to lie, I was crying. I'm like, oh my god, no. Because it was a character that I really was attached. Motherfucking whore, son of a bitch. Now I'm crying about this.
What'd you do now?
Yeah, piece broke.
You got pinky fucked.
Pretty much. No, I thought it was good, and I went to slide it in, and I want the fit to be tight. But oh my god. I guess I hadn't whittled it down enough, and so when I pushed it in, it broke on the side.
Oh, boy.
It's repairable. It's just fucking annoying. It's not like a missing pinky or anything. It's just, once again, the hole on this. It's just entirely. Whenever you put yours together, it's the piece. It's the plot, the grave plot and headstone piece does not want to fit together properly at all. And I think part of it's also because the bottom of the tombstone is not flat and it's not completely square, while the hole in the grave plot is.
Clint's like, now I don't want to put that shit together.
No, it's like, now I want to take it out just so I can see what he's talking
Well,
about.
then take it out.
Then take it out.
You will
It's sitting
walk all
right
of
in
like
fucking
2
front of you.
It's mainly because if I take the headphones off, our microphone's going to pick up Larry, so he'll echo.
Oh, he can chop that off.
Oh, yeah. How about this? I'm going to mute my mic for a few seconds. Go get the damn model.
Okay.
Yes, dude. I feel like I should have sealed this model before I started on it.
And go. Opening the box. Oh yeah,
But-
that is pretty green.
Yeah, and
but it's not like
the
lime
headstone... The headstone isn't completely square either. So, basically I'm just telling you this to warn you. Like, what broke is completely fixable. It's just having to file down every tab on every piece because everything is tabbed. So it's not like it just floats and you can move it and adjust it. No, it's all tabbed. So to get it to work properly, I'm going to have to file a little bit on every piece.
What you're talking about. Yeah.
And we're on the podcast, so I can't pull the Dremel out. So I'm having to use my RAS files just slowly, like. I think I'm going to wait till the tombstone until I can use the Dremel.
Well, let's see. How does the leg fit?
It needs the tab. Oh, yours does? Mine, I had to file down the tab, and it had a big gap.
I mean, it has a gap, but I mean, a little bit of filing will be sufficient for that.
I'm kind of curious about this skirt.
Just leave the skirt off and let her be showing off her pants.
Yeah, but it doesn't go
pants
together.
Or panties?
Panties.
Pantsu.
Oh, pantsu.
Is that supposed to be a belt, or does that have to come off?
I was just wondering that myself.
It has to come off because it has to come off because it doesn't match up at all.
Well,
I thought it was a belt.
Wouldn't be able to fit.
Yeah, I was sitting there when I first started looking at it. I thought it was a belt, but now that I look at it, it's just it's an extra piece of pour. Ultimately, once this is together, it's going to be a great looking model. It's just getting everything to fit properly is annoying. I would have almost rather have had no tabs and pin the fucking thing.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody else wants one too, I think he has some available still.
Yeah, and they are a limited edition piece. There's only, how many of these? 50? 75?
What does it say on the box?
40.
You got a box?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I didn't get a box.
Because he sent 2 of them in a box to me, and so I sent one of them to you. I opted
So we
to keep
got
the box.
40 and 41, and oh, I see how it is. So you got the certificate. I got the promo edition. So these are a limited number, and they do look good. Like, once everything is done, the only problem, like I said, is the tabs are a little bit large, so you will have to shave them down. If you have a Dremel, that'll be no problem. Even with a set of files, it's not that bad. I just like to bitch. So, but one thing I will say, if you do order one of these, pay extra attention to the gravestone. That's the one piece that's really kind of. Everything else I can kind of make work just by whittling it down really good, and then with a little bit of green stuff here. And you will need a little bit of milliput because there are some seam lines. It's not like the new GW plastics that fit together seamlessly.
Yeah, it only took GW how many years to figure that out?
Yeah. I mean, this is a small batch hand production resin. You can't expect it to be absolutely freaking perfect. And it's a cute little piece. It really is. I've seen the picture of the finished product. And even just looking at the pieces, I can tell it's gonna look good once it's together and all filled and everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know what else I'm really excited for?
What's that?
Elder Forge is shipping out the bust soon.
Elder Forge?
Manuel.
Yeah.
You know, the one that has Models Workshop name on the packaging?
I always talk to him. I never talk through his website. So, like, you tell me his name?
Sometimes people won't know the name of the artist, but they'll know the name of the company.
Oh, that's fine. I just know the name of the artist, but not the name. It blanked on me for a second on which one it was. But yeah, he knocked those out quick. Oh, I think I'm starting to get a reputation within the bust community. I'm having bust artists sending me friend requests now, like people who exclusively sculpt busts. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, because like someone sent me a friend request and it's like we have like 9 friends mutual, which I was like, okay, it could be high school or it could be modeling. And I look, and every person that he was friends with is a bust sculptor, like George, Manuel, people like that. And I'm like, oh, so I go and I look at his pictures. He also sculpts busts. I'm like, I'm not sure I like this. Am I known as the guy who buys a lot of freaking busts?
Yep.
Or am I the guy
out there?
Or am I the guy who hypes the shit out of busts and sells them? I like to think that I'm also the other.
No, you just buy a lot of shit.
Oh, well, speaking of bus, we got that one now that we need to ship off to him.
What? Oh, Hannah. Yeah, Hannah's.
You might as well wait for.
Too soon.
You might as well wait for manuals to come in.
Why?
There's something in there for me.
Oh, right.
He told me to tell you that.
I forgot. If it's something good, it's just going to be kept here. And you won't ever know what it was. Like, I'll send you a piece of candy and be like, this is what he sent you.
Well, now you can't do that because you just told him.
Well, maybe it really is a piece of candy.
Because, you know, whenever I go...
Candy.
Because the fact that he listens to the podcast and I go, wow, thanks, Emmanuel, for the Star Mint. He'll know something was up.
Which Clint actually figured out what I'm getting for his birthday. Because he's fast like that.
Clint figured out, what do you get on the Switch or something?
When you turn it down to, it's a figure that's not Kingdom Death, and it's something I've been wanting, it's like, oh, well, there's only 2 figures I really want that I don't own.
That are not Kingdom Death.
That aren't Kingdom Death. And they're both large, kind of, one's a bust and one's just a 54 millimeter, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both really cool. The one's the Sea Girl Akito, I think that's her name.
From Neko Galaxy.
From Neko Galaxy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I really want one of those because she just looks amazing. And then the other one is titled Defeated and is this chick in like armor that's like kind of down on her knees with a bunch of arrows coming out of her.
I'm pretty sure it's Kabuki Miniatures for that one.
I actually remember that model too.
Yeah, I want that one too. Because, I mean, you don't see a lot of, like, defeat. You see a lot of people, like, in these awesome, like, oh, I'm going to kick your ass pose, or, hey, victory, or whatever, right? You don't see, like, a whole lot of it going south. And I really like
Adam,
the face sculpt on that one.
Oh, speaking of Adam, I was going to say Adam's going to be disappointed in this episode, because we really don't have a topic. Like an actual hobby topic. We never really came up with one. But
sorry, Adam.
speaking, not sorry. We'll talk. We'll pull something randomly out to talk about it, I guess. But speaking of Adam, he actually is working at a card shop now, or a hobby shop, gaming shop.
Yeah.
He announced that he was going to announce it on April Fool's Day, but he's like, no one will believe me because it's fucking April Fool's Day.
Well, and so I was trying to guess it all day. I was like, are you guys pregnant? And Jill's like, no, I told him to tell everyone because that's what everyone would say.
Right. And that's like, honestly, what everyone is going to think initially. It's like, you're pregnant. No, we're not pregnant.
Like, yes, you are. April Fools.
Right.
Honestly, April Fools is like the worst day to do any sort of announcement.
Right,
Did you see some of the announcements that came out, though?
No.
Like, freaking Paris
some
Hilton
of the painting
came
ones
out
were actually
with, like,
good.
Yeah, some of the painting ones were good. Privateer Press.
I saw Privateer Presses.
The metal one. That was hilarious.
Dallas, that was awesome. Like, for a second there,
GW's.
I believed it. Oh, and then GW's with dunking the water. Yeah.
Yeah. The water. That one was actually pretty good, too. War Colors did one for their new non-metallic line. Their one-coat non-metallic metallics. All you have to do is brush them on in a single coat, and boom, here are the results.
Oh, that one's not believable at all.
Well, neither is the glitter once he started dumping bottles of fucking glue on it.
Oh, yeah, as soon as he's like, and then we're just going to take the super glue and put it all over, I'm like, oh.
I was like, no, the model!
Well, as soon as all the super glue went down, I was like, oh, this is April Fool's, where's this going? And he throws all that glitter on him, like, alright, that's cool.
Well, okay, so at first when Neo released it for War Colors, I was like, alright. And I'm thinking, I was like, over in Cyprus, do they actually do April Fool's Day? because I saw metallic paint line, and it wouldn't be too far out of scope for him to release an actual metallic paint set to go along with this paint. So I'm like, do they actually do that type of stuff over there, or is he... Oh, no, it's an April Fool's joke. But a couple announcements real quick, a couple little news items. Nothing really newsy, more just like announcement type stuff. And a kind of a funny moment. So, Brittany was doing a print, and she was like, and her exact quote was 24-hour print, ... my butt. And so everyone, of course, automatically latched on to, including me. I was like, you're printing your ass? And it's taking 24 hours? Is it that big? And she's like, oh, good God, I walked right into that one. So that was kind of a funny ha-ha that happened. Okay, maybe not to everyone else. Fuck it, it was funny to me, damn it. I guess it's one of those...
Like imagining this butt being 3D printed line by line.
Well,
I mean, they do that with porn star butts, so why not, right?
Hey, maybe she is trying to make a little extra money. It brings a whole new meaning to bust, even though it's not exactly a bust. That would be a 3D print for the boobs.
That'd be kind of weird. Like, if some miniature artist got, like, really famous and that's what they wanted to start doing.
Speaking of that, someone on my Facebook shared someone's Instagram that says, I paint your Warhammer armies in my underwear. And it's like a cam girl with, like, Warhammer miniatures and a paintbrush.
Yeah. So my question is, can she actually paint? Because I saw that too, and I tagged Yeji in it. And I was like, hey, here you go. Here's the next line of commission work.
Yeah, but instead of underwear, you just do it in, like, corsets and stuff, and then there you go.
Yeah, it'd have to be corsets, because that's what Yeji wants. She wants corsets,
and the corset would actually be better for her posture while she's painting.
Mm-hmm, it would.
True. Keep her more upright. Just looking at her face without the hair on is really weird.
Yeah, the face... And the eyes are really big, too, because the glasses are going to go on there.
Right. Yeah, so the eyes are, like, super jumbo size. They're almost anime-ish in style. But, I was floating around on Twitter, and I found she does a lot of work for D&D stuff. She's not really a miniature art. Okay, she's not a miniature artist, period. But she does a lot of work for D&D stuff. And, of course, there's a couple parallels, like dice bags. And she produces a line of mimics, which, for what people don't know, or people don't play D&D, a mimic is something that pretends that it's something when it's not. And when you get too close, a lot of the times it's like a treasure chest. And when you get close to it to open it up, because it's a treasure chest, it turns into the monster that bites you. So she's doing mimic treasure chests that whenever they're closed, it's a dice box, a crocheted dice box that looks like a dice box, but when you unzip it and open it, teeth pop out, teeth and a tongue pop out, and then all your dice are inside. It's cool as shit. But her page is Georgiana Designs, and it's JOURJENADESIGNS, and that's on Facebook. So facebook.com/Georgiana Designs, and it's her mimic dice bag. She has other stuff like Pokeballs and Pokemon, but the mimics are the really cool one. And I just saw them, and I thought I'd give her a shout out just because it's kind of actually really neat, and the fact that no one else has done this that I've seen. So it was kind of a unique thing, and I was sitting there going, why? It was one of those things you look at and you're like, oh, that's cool as shit. Why the hell has no one else done these? And it's like $35 for a regular and a $45.
That's just like those
sturdy.
I wonder if you could find that on that new app you found out.
What?
The Red Bubble? What is it?
Oh, maybe. Maybe she's on Redbubble. No, but I was saying that's kind of like your idea for health potions and mana potions, and then...
Yeah, I got jacked. Yeah. Damn it. I was too slow.
Oh, the energy drinks?
Yeah, I had the idea back when I was like 14, and I obviously didn't have the capital or any know-how on how to do it. And then a couple years later, there's health and mana potions being sold at Hot Topic. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Should have asked your parents. They ran a business.
Yeah, I should have. But then I had to go through the
I
FDA.
Well, no, not to patent the concept.
That's true.
And then people would have had paid you royalties, and then we would have been rich, but no.
I actually came up with the idea of Redbox in the early 2000s. I'm sitting there, I was talking to my friend, I was like, you know what would be really cool? And I basically explained this machine that had, it was based off of the old movie Hackers, and that one scene where they're in the studio and they have the robots that are going and grabbing tapes, and the robots are in a fight because they're being hacked and they keep grabbing each other's tapes, but it's basically a wall of tapes and these robots grab them and then they go put them in the VCR. Well, utilizing that concept, I was thinking, well, what if they're in cases and they grab them and then spit them out the machine, and they could use cellular modems and everything else to do the sales. And I was like, yeah,
so someone
that'd
pretty
be
much
great.
got like the NSA was listening to you guys, and then someone there got
No, it's just it's a
ideas.
No, it's a good idea, and it's actually not that difficult to conceptualize. I'm not saying anyone stole my idea. It's just me and another guy came out with the exact same idea, and they followed through on it, and thus is Redbox. And now he's probably a fucking billionaire. Well, I am sitting there going, "Yeah, that's a great idea, but nah." And all of a sudden, it's like, "Well, shit." No, I'm not a conspiracy theorist type of person that goes, "Someone was listening to me and stole my idea." It more of a, "Damn, someone else another brilliant person had the exact same idea I did." Well,
Which, if Larry or I win the lottery, a freaking artist compound is going to happen.
we're already planning the compound. It's going to have production studios. It's going to have a little town for the permanent residents. It's going to have an apartment complex for people coming in to take seminars. Someone has to go get their pilot's license.
For when people start getting too bitchy?
No, that'd be me. I'd be going around with a whip.
Oh.
But I was figuring probably Nevada, not in Las Vegas, but probably
What did you just call it?
Nevada?
Nevada. It's not Nevada.
Nevada?
It's Nevada.
Nevada?
Longer A.
Nevada.
Nevada, not Nevada.
Okay, fucking Hermione. Eat a dick.
I will
I'll
later.
say what Ron I'll say what Ron wanted to say in that movie, but couldn't because of a PG rating. Eat a dick, Hermione. It's Levioso, it's Leviosa, not Levioso. It's Nevada, not Nevada.
No, it's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
I'm gonna shove a fucking film up your ass.
It's sad that you.
Yeah, so mimic dice bags. They're fucking awesome. They're great. Oh, good lord. Yeah, we're totally unprepared for this. We didn't even go get a kick-ass Kickstarter. Oops. Well, no, actually we did.
No. I was gonna say, we kind of do. The one with the weird.
We did,
horses.
but I forgot to put it in the show notes. It's that Western one.
Oh.
Yes, which you can look at right now because we have a computer right here.
Kickstarter Weird Horses. It doesn't come up.
It was Outlaws or In-Laws or Horse Laws.
It's not in-laws.
Horse laws.
In-Law Outlaws.
But yet,
I don't know.
you guys
What was it?
were talking about it. Jason's the one who shared it over. Jason, I just want to give a shout out to Jason because he is awesome. And people are probably like, why is he awesome? Why Jason? Okay, so Jason went to Adepticon, and every year he goes to Adepticon, I get a box of basically what I assume is his leftovers. The shit that he doesn't want from Adepticon. Or stuff that he knows he's not going to get to. So he's like, Larry will like this, and he'll send them my way. But this year, he sent me the Victoria Miniatures Adepticon 2017 Limited Edition Tank Ace, which actually looks really cool. He also sent me a bag of bases from Elric's Hobbies.
For a sec.
They actually look really cool. They're industrial miniature, or industrial bases. But it's Elric's Hobbies, and it's elricshobbies.com. And if you use Adepti, ADEPTI 2017 before May the 1st over at their website, you'll get 20% off your order, but you didn't hear it here. Then I got
Watch,
a
he
model.
listens to our podcast.
Yeah, watch. He's like that.
I'll get a nasty gram.
Canceled.
You motherfucker. Yeah. I'm not listening to your show anymore. Or, thanks for the sales. I got like 20 new sales off of that. This wolf beast that kind of reminds me of Confrontation a little bit, but not really. And there's nothing in the bag. It's just this really cool wolf. And there's nothing on the tab. Just this really cool wolf model. And the base is D.
Oh, where's that from? Fuck, I know where it's from, but not right now.
Oh, that's great because I have no idea. And then there's a new game. I guess it's called, or it's a company called Knuckle Busters or Knuckle Dusters Miniatures. I got 2 models from this one. One is a orc, which actually looks really, really cool. And he ended up sending me another one too, and somewhere around here. Is this it? Yeah, Knuckle Dusters. And I also got California Kate. The first miniature is generic. The second one is a female character called California Kate. California Kate. And I guess it's a Wild West game. The models look good. They look they're pretty clean. So definitely something if you like Western models to look up. And then the last model he sent me was a Ninja Division, what looks like a Viking skeleton chibi, because everyone is trying to hint.
Yes. Okay, so the name
Everyone
of
is
the
trying-
place
Hey, stop a second. Stop. I got one more item, butthead. And
you said last. Okay, go on.
last miniature. Last miniature.
Ah.
I got a texture. It's a base texture. Base texture stamp, and it's by Happy Seppuku. And it's
Oh my
a
god,
resin.
really?
What?
Seppuku?
Well, okay, Hermione. How did I mispronounce it this time?
No, just go ahead. Go ahead.
I am white and from the United States. It is seppuku.
That was better than seppuku.
All right, and
I
moving on.
talk fast if you
Textured.
Alright, so it's a texture stamp. Basically what you do is you put some milliput or some green stuff on the base, smooth it down, and then press it into the mat, and it gives you the texture of the mat on the base itself. And this one looks like a woven... you two would probably know it. The woven mats that they use in houses in traditional Oriental
the topping.
settings. Okay, yeah, it has
Asian.
that.
Asian settings, not Oriental.
The fuck is the difference?
Oh, don't start.
Oriental
There's
was
an
was a derogatory term for people that when the Chinese started doing the railroads and stuff, like to be derogatory towards them. So Oriental is not the correct word. It's Asian. We're on the continent of Asia, not Orient.
The more you know.
What she said. Okay, so, and also he picked up one of the new HD minis from the D&D that's being produced by WizKids. They're the ones that are pre-primed but not painted, and they actually look pretty fucking good. They're like $4 for 2 miniatures, and I got the human wizard, the human male wizard. There's 2 miniatures in there, so there's 2 different wizards you can pick from. One looks a little more ornate than the other one, so you can start off with like the one on the bottom, and then eventually move up to the one on the top, who has more goodies going for him. Yeah, and it's like $4 for a blister for 2 models, and they have goblins like that and everything else. So he picked that up and sent it to me because there's none available locally yet. So shout out to Jason for being an absolute badass. But you were talking about the Kickstarter that he showed us a day or two ago too.
It's called Tombstone, Old West Tabletop Game and Miniatures in 32 millimeters.
Yeah, so we're way off on the name.
Yeah, as in we didn't have it at all.
Yeah.
So you guys were talking about it. I'll let you go ahead and start on it because you had some stuff to say. Translation. I'm still trying to find it.
Here.
Well, I like the girl sculpts on them, but the horses are weird. Like,
Okay, and there's a couple of things with this that I'm not so happy with because
the artwork looks cool from what I've seen. And it's kind of nice that they give you like these little comic things. The sculpts.
The sculpts they're like for the people, they're okay. Their faces are very, very messy. Like the eyes, you can barely tell there's eyes in there. Like it's like slits.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Asian eyes, and that like those are more slittier than my eyes.
Yeah, they're definitely not fucking Orientalized, people. They're not Orientalized. You know, that's gonna really fuck me up every time I go to eat some Oriental flavored ramen now. Thank you. It's like, hey, white boy, you're eating racist ramen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the horses are weird. Like,
and the thing with the horses on the sculpts, in my opinion, it's because their necks are too short and their legs are too long. And comparative, their faces aren't big enough.
but I mean, I like the female. Like the female sculpts, they look nice. The Mexicans are all kind of on the bigger side.
I do like some of the female sculpts, but like some of them do remind me of already existing sculpts.
Well,
like,
yeah.
I can already see, stuff that Patrick's done in these, and I feel like they're much better done, just because their faces faces really bug me on a piece, and this is one of those.
All right, so I'm going to take the example of the lawman sheriff, and honestly, like the body itself isn't bad. Like the face kind of throws me for a loop. Like the mustache is a little odd, but I do see what you're saying, and the eyes look like they're a little too close together too.
Mm-hmm.
And the outer edges don't really have it. Now the bodies look good. Now, lawman
Clint's talking
leader,
about the Mexican. Where is it?
Yeah, right there.
Mexican leader.
Go that's the Mexican leader.
Oh, lawman deputy. That one's special. There's no definition in his cheekbones. It's like a round blob of putty with a nose, some really close-set eyes, and a weird-looking mustache.
Yep. I don't like the faces. I really don't. And I don't know who sculpted these.
Some of them I
and
don't
I'm gonna
mind.
laugh if they are like Patrick's.
Some of them I don't mind.
Like
then
go
you
to
get to the
Lawman
Mexican.
Pack. Lawman Pack 1. Like all of those actually look good. Those actually kind of look good. Lawman Pack 2.
Eyes
for
are
the most
wonky.
Eyes are a
Third
little
guy,
wonky.
eyes are not level.
Lawman Pack 3.
The
One guy looks
the
like
coat
he's
on the
like
fourth
telling you
one
to
looks
suck
a little
it.
weird.
Yeah.
The guy, the third from the right, looks like he's like,
Is
suck
his-
it. Ah.
Look
He's
at his
doing
mustache.
that duster move though, like where in
I know.
movies, Western movies, where they do that duster move, like to the side,
But
and then
look
they're
at his-
doing that quick draw.
His mustache is on his fucking chin, and he has no
Called
nose.
goatees.
No. His mouth. He looks like a towel. The weird ass mouth.
Butt looks like a towel.
Yeah.
It does. The girls aren't too bad. I do see what you're saying.
No, the girls aren't too bad.
Wow. I see what you're saying about the horses. The legs do look a little long, and the necks do look definitely short.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks like you could chop about 1 millimeter off the front, or off all the legs, maybe even 2, and add 1 millimeter or 2 to the neck, and then it would look decent.
Better proportionate, yeah.
And the faces
Because
definitely need to be.
Their donkey later on looks really great. I guess they just like great asses. But
Okay, now the females, the female pack 1, I would not be surprised to find out that Patrick sculpted those. Those look like Patrick sculpts.
except for the faces. Patrick does better faces.
He does, but the dresses remind me of stuff that he does with the fancy laces and the folds.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely what I meant.
What is it with the poses on the ladies looking like they have to pee? They recycled
Sculptor
stuff.
Adam Clark.
They recycled. Look at the girl that looks like she's about to pee in the female pack 2 where their hands behind her back, and look at the second one on the pack 3. That's the same legs and chest. They swapped the arms and the head. And then if you look at pack 3, the first model matches pack 2, the first model there. They were recycling shit. Almost every one of those are recycled. Oh my god, what the hell?
Did you get down to the Outlaws?
Yeah.
No. It gets even better when you get to the Mexicans.
Great.
They're Mexicans, honey.
They're Mexicans, not Mexicans.
Not Mexicans.
Oh, wow. 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 No, I think that horse would break. What the fuck is he doing?
It looks like he's eating a taco, like when you first look at it, real quick.
It looks like he's eating a fucking burrito. Are you? Oh yeah, I guess it is a cigar. It looks like he's eating a burrito. It literally looks like he's eating a burrito. So every Mexican is fat. Oh no!
And the Mexican deputy looks like he has bull horns for a mustache.
Okay, and then we're gonna get another email. I'm never listening to you guys again. Okay. Now I will say this: we are making fun of the sculpts, and we're being a little harsh on the sculpts. They're not they're definitely not the worst sculpts. Some of them I'm kind of looking and going, but honestly, they're also
overall they're okay. Like they're not.
They're not award winning. With some work, you could probably take them to a contest and win something with them. But just as is, there's definitely the facial details could be buffed up a little bit. The Mexicans kind of almost insult me, and I'm about as white as can be.
Oh, but that's because he's like what, treasurer or VP or secretary of like the Latino caucus in Indiana.
No, even if I wasn't, like some of these are, like seriously, it looks like he's eating a burrito. I don't give a shit if it's a cigar or not. I would paint it as a fucking burrito.
And now they have, if you go down past the others, they have undead people too.
The Native leader looks fucking awesome. The face is still a little wonky, but like the biggest problem with this is the faces are wonky pretty much all the way through it. They're just a little off. The horses really need to be redone, but the clothing, the bodies and the clothing on these things
they're actually really good.
Yeah, they're really good. Like, really, really good.
I agree on it. Especially when you go down to the undead stuff. Like, there's some clothing on there that you're just like, oh, these are really cool.
The 7th Cavalry leader, that dude looks almost fucking perfect. Like, face looks good. So there's a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to, like, some of the faces look good. A couple of them look great. Some of them, you kind of go, no.
No. No.
I think there was a missed opportunity with the undead horse.
Yes, I don't know why it's a real horse. It should be a skeleton horse. Mm-hmm. The undead stuff, yeah, you're right. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I like the girl in the first pack, and then the guy and the girl in the second pack. Number 2 and 3 in the second pack. I
was legitly just looking at the girl in the Undead Pack 1, and that's what I was wowing over. Like, exactly what I was wowing over. Mm-hmm. The Undead Indian in the first pack is pretty badass, too.
Oh, I just noticed the third guy in the first pack, he was, like, he's lynched.
Oh.
That's a noose around his neck. I actually really like the
and it's a vulture. He has a noose around his neck, and it's a vulture eating his face.
Uh-huh.
And then in the second pack, that undead lady, she's pretty badass looking. And you're right, the second guy is freaking just awesome.
The second guy reminds me of a skin from Overwatch for Reaper.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of scratching my head on the first one.
Yeah, I'm kind of scratching my head on that one too.
Oh, dude, Undead Pack 3, all of them, all 4 of them are fucking awesome. All 4 in the pack 3 are just freaking awesome.
Yeah. Switching those out for undead stuff, like in Age of Sigmar, would be kind of cool.
The undead by itself, the undead pack just by itself would be almost worth buying this.
You get 4 bottles for £9.
The problem is shipping. It's £10 shipping. So if you only picked up one, it would be £19 for 4 models, which it's what, £5 a piece.
Stretching it a little.
That's $7, $8 a mini. Now, if you ordered more than one pack, like if you ordered all 3 of the packs, that's $37 for 12 models, which actually knocks it down to like $4 a model, which is worth it. So if you're going to buy like all of the Pablo. Okay.
All of the
Now, if you
Pablo.
buy, if you buy all of
Pablo.
I just got to Pablo. Okay, with the bucktooth donkey. Donkey.
Yeah, I love the donkey.
You should buy all the Pablo.
I don't know. I don't like the guy on top of him, but I like the donkey.
Like he's drinking a big glass of milk.
Oh.
Or you can write
did you
Coca-Cola
see-
on it.
Yeah, did you scroll down to Billy the Kid? It's painted.
Hold on.
He looks like a I'm okay. Not to be mean, but he
Looks like he
reminds
doesn't
me of a
have
character.
chin.
He reminds me of someone off of South Park. This little guy, that walks with the walks with the walks with the
Timmy!
No, that's Timmy. No, the walks with the
Oh, the guy with the
chains.
arm crutches.
Yes, he reminds me of him.
Well, it's
Look,
just
because
there's no chin on the kid.
Right, because there's no chin on South Park Kids either, and Billy Kids is kind of like looking up on the corner of his eyes, just like that one character does.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird position. But no,
Yeah.
you skipped over the other complaint I have about this game. Before you get to the
dice.
stress goal, is you need a D4 through a D20 to play it.
Okay, so you need a standard D&D set.
Well, even more so. And this is supposed to be like a skirmish game. So each unit has like their own dice value, I think.
Yeah,
If I read this thing right.
I actually, okay, so you complain about that. I like that. I like the fact that they're using more than just a D6 because everything is fucking D6. And a lot of people actually have full dice sets because they play D&D.
You're a hypocrite! Hypocrite!
What are you talking about?
Sky Relics, what did you say was the most annoying thing? Dice. And the charts, but dice.
No, it was mainly the charts.
The charts.
No, I like different value.
No, you were like, this could be much more simplified. Go to
And
D6s.
it could be. And
yeah.
it could
And
be.
we made a whole game around D6s, all the rules and shit. So, just saying.
Fine.
Yeah, but then Larry does like that one button game where you have a whole bunch of different dice. So
Buttonman.
he's in the middle.
Button game?
Some things
Yeah,
I
remember-
don't mind a lot of dice. Some things I think a lot of dice are absolutely.
Sometimes Larry likes to
incredibly-
hold a lot of different things in his hands.
Oh.
Other times he likes to hold little things in his hands.
Oh.
Just kind of like you, Yeji.
Well, I don't really hold big things in my hands because my hands are too small. So.
But certain things, I would have to actually play it to see if it's worth it. The problem with the Sky Relics was on top of, okay, if it was simply laid out with the different dice, that would be fine. And part of the reason that I said with his game to use just D6s is because everybody has a billion D6s and they're commercially available cheap. If this game only
hate finger
requires
patterns.
a single set, and I'll emphasize a single set of D&D dice or whatever the fuck they're called, where it's a single D4, D6, or 2 D6s, a D8, 2 D10s, a D12, and a D20, then that's fine. If it requires you to have like 6 of those sets, fuck that. At that point, it really needs to be D6s. So I would actually have to read the rules. So I am on the fence with that one. I don't mind the variety of dice. I do mind having to have a billion of oddball or of an oddball dice. If that's the case, just write the rules for D6s. And it wasn't me being a hypocrite. It was me trying to actually save the guy from Sky Relics money, because in the long run you can bulk order D6s for your game all day long, which is part of the reason why everything is based off of fucking D6. They are the most commercially available dice. I personally would love to make a game that's based off of D10, but that would be pricier because D10s cost more money.
That's Kingdom Death.
And you know what? Kingdom Death is probably a fucking awesome game. I'm not paying $1,600 to play a fucking game.
You don't have to pay $1,600.
It's only $400.
Yeah, because I'm the type of person that only buys one part of something. Might I introduce you to my full set of 4 color paints?
Everything else is extra. I mean, you don't have to get the the single models that they come out with.
Or the
Right,
expansion
Yeji,
sets.
because that's because you had such an easy time not buying all the expansions too, because we don't have neither one of us have completionist attitudes about things, not at all.
Which is why I'm looking into the fucking chibis that they came out with for Way of the Fighter, because they're also limited print.
Oh, speaking of limited print, did you see how much the Chibi Kingdom Death
Twilight Night.
is going for these days?
Yeah, like 250 or something.
That was the most expensive one we've seen, but usually around 100.
Yeah.
Anywhere from 80 to 100 lately.
I dropped because so when I posted the one for I tagged you in that post about someone selling one, I was like, shits and giggles. I went and dropped like a $30 bid on it. And it was instantaneous. It was already, whoever had put the second bid in was already over that money. I was like, well, yep, I'm done. I was like, I'd like to own one, but no. No chance in hell. I'd like to own one just to paint it up because I like what you've done with yours.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that was...
I'm like, do I really want to send Nandy this? Because the latest one that I did, the Twilight one, that one it's Nandy's. I'm like, man.
But I'm sitting there going, I didn't realize that was the Kingdom Death Chibi. That one was the Chibi Kingdom Death Chibi. So I was just like, I wouldn't mind one, but I guess I'm never going to get one. Now I may actually take back on my word, because originally I had said, because of the entire statue, the trophy debate on from Crystal Paintbrush, that I was not going to do the Rising Suns, and I might actually go back on that.
I would. The models look really cool.
Well, it's already closed, isn't it?
Yeah, they're taking link backers.
Well, always.
I pledged, so I have the backer kit available to me.
Well, Clint made me
and I
get
like
that one, so.
Well, I like it. And it will foster game nights over at a game store, because you have to play with 3 people for that one.
Oh.
I like the models, but I'm also a fan of Eric Lang's games too. So I kind of want to get it just because I do like the game designer. I don't like the production the production company. I do like the game designer, so I don't want to punish the game designer just because of a stupid move that the game producer made.
Yeah. Well, we've been playing Arcadia Quest too, and that's pretty fun.
Arcadia Quest Inferno, not the original.
I do have to say that I like the new model that CMON is doing with their games, because they used to nickel and dime you with like add-ons. And the new one is actually pretty good as far as add-ons go. You've got the main game, which is 100, which comes with a fucking lot. Then you can get an expansion for 80. I think it's 80. No, 50? 50 or 60, I think. And it adds 2 new clans and all the goodies that come with a clan. And then you can buy a neoprene mat for the game board instead of the standard game board, and that's like $20. And then you can get metal coins, like 60-something metal coins. And that's it. That's all the add-ons. I think altogether, if you get everything, the expansion, the metal coins, and the upgraded board, you draw, I think it's $200. Which,
well, I like how one of the unlock things was, a box that all this new shit that doesn't fit in the original will fit in.
Right. They did this one really well. Super simple, no early bird, no super silly fucking add-ons. They kept it really simple. And the one add-on they had is for a well-priced expansion. The other 2 are not needed, but you can get like the metal coins. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the metal coins. I'm probably going to get the neoprene board just because neoprene holds up. Huh?
They're fun to clink. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the fucking board, and I was like, neoprene doesn't clink. No, but neoprene's really sturdy, and if it ever gets dirty, like someone spills a Coke on it, if you do that on the paper board, it's toast. Well, damaged. But if you do it on a neoprene board, you can toss it in the washer, and it's all good. So, I don't know. I might end up eating my words and ordering it anyways, because I really like the models, and the value is there. It's almost 100 fucking models for $100, even if you just get the base. So, and they've got
It has And dragons.
It has turtles.
And
Fuck
bears.
dragons.
Oh my.
Everything has dragons. It has turtles. It's the truth. You know it. Oh.
Well, pretty soon
So-
you're going to be shelling out a bunch of money, too, for another Kickstarter coming up soon.
I am?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Because there's only
Wander.
one thing that I...
Oh, yeah.
Who
Wander's in
says that
September, though.
Because
Okay,
Mark's...
why is it that I'm instantaneously going to be shelling out a lot of money?
Because Mark's enticing you to get addicted to the game.
Okay, I'll buy the rule book. Done. I've seen a lot of the models. They're nice. A lot of the models are available on their website right now. They're nice, but they're not outstanding. And if I really wanted to, I'll just piece buy them at £10 a piece. Which I do have to say, honestly, and I know this is something that Elizabeth and her husband and stuff are involved in, those models are kind of expensive.
Huh?
They look...
$12
£10
for
a
a metal model?
Oh, hold up a second. Never mind. I was still in pound mode. Yeah, never mind. $10. That's not bad. I was thinking they were £10.
I'm like, $10 for a metal model is not that cheap, or is not that expensive. Like, what the fuck?
I was still in pound mode.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
£10. I
You
should have
are
counted on
forgiven.
whenever I was like,
Okay.
it's Elizabeth, but pounds. No, that doesn't make sense. Does not compute. Error. No, actually, $10. That's not a bad price. The models, some of them look great. Some of them, I guess it's
Some
whatever
of
your
them
cup
are
of
just
tea
more
is.
okay.
Yeah, because I know some people will probably be, but they do like Mark painted Tank for me, which is the turtle with the shield, and
That's Donatello.
he converted it over to Donatello, so it's Tankatello, and who happens to also be my favorite Ninja Turtle. So he's sending me that because he's like, I want to entice you into the game, and I'm like, oh.
Are you
okay.
ever gonna paint up that board game that Ninja Turtles board game?
Yes, actually, probably tomorrow. Well, funny you mention that. I think we're probably actually going to be playing it tomorrow. Me and the boys.
Finally.
Well, yeah. Sorry, I'm not home every day. And then I'm going to do.
Are you gonna?
And then I'm going to do the unboxing on the second one. And then once I do the unboxing, I'm going to paint both sets at the same time. Yeah, this is.
Which Adam
is gonna be
got
like-
placed in a magazine for that, or a comic book.
Yeah, one of the IDWs. I saw that. That was cool as shit. But yeah, I'm going to turn speed paint mode on. I am probably
Okay,
going
you
to
do
do the Larry's version of speed paint. Actually, the only work that I see, I'm going to probably go through and do some precursor mold line removal for the really bad mold lines. Emphasis on the really bad ones. Minor ones I'm probably not going to touch. Yeah, I'm like shaking even just saying the words. But there's like 3 things that I'm going to do because I've already looked at one of these. I'm replacing all of the Donatello's bow staffs with brass rod because the bow staffs themselves have some definite issues. I'm replacing the handles on the sledgehammers on Rocksteady. I think Rocksteady has the sledgehammers because the handles are really Terabat. So I'm going to replace those with brass rod as well. And I'll probably utilize that as a tutorial how to replace plastic shafts with brass rod to make them better.
Oh baby.
And then And then other than that, it's probably just me painting 16 turtles at the same time. Though I'm actually tempted on the 86 turtles that are included in the box set, painting them black and white with red bandanas. I saw a lot of the stuff that Zach has done, and I may lift his monochrome idea and paint the turtles monochrome, except for the bandanas, and paint all of the bandanas red. Because I think that would actually look pretty fucking smooth.
Because aren't the red bandanas the original?
Yeah. The Turtles were originally black and white because Eastman and Laird couldn't afford color. And then when they finally were able to afford color, the only thing they made color was the bandanas, and the bandanas were all red. I can't remember in the original series why they switched colors. I know in one of the stories was so April could tell them apart. Because she couldn't tell them apart because they all had the same color bandanas. And back then, all the turtles looked the same. Nowadays, all the turtles look different from each other. But back then, they were pretty much cookie cutter. But,
other than their weapons, right?
Right, other than their weapons. And yeah, talk about bucket list. That's actually on my bucket list as an original Ninja Turtles. Issue 1. First printing. That is such a bucket list item for me. That I'll probably never see unless I win the lottery. It's like
good luck.
$4,000 or $5,000, I think, for a decently graded one. Well, they only printed 3,000 copies of it. And you have to remember when they first printed it, the reason the studio was named Mirage is because it didn't fucking exist. It was literally a mirage. No, seriously, that's why the Mirage studio is named Mirage, because it didn't exist. It was, I think it was Eastman's dining room table, where they would do the comic book and they'd ship it off to a printer, and it was a pay-to-play printer. So they could only afford so many, so the first print run of Turtles is only a few thousand issues. So to find a first edition that's still in good shape, because it was a throwaway comic. It wasn't a serious comic book at that time. And it wasn't until months later that it became a serious comic book, and by then a lot of the original first editions had been damaged. So, yeah, they're very expensive. They're a few $1,000s for a well-graded one. Because if I'm gonna invest the money into one, I want a decent graded one. Well, actually, how about we do this?
Plus, it would annoy Larry to hell if like one corner was like slightly bent or something.
No, not for something like that. Not for something like that. I do have to start taking stuff in. At this point, I need to learn how to frame stuff. I need to learn how to frame. Because I have like 9 or 10 things that need to be framed.
Well, if you ever figure it out, send me some.
What, frames?
Yeah. Because I've yet to frame my YaoiCon stuff from September.
Or the poster you got from the wake that we did.
Oh, yeah. That was after September, though.
I have a whole bunch of lithographs from... I have a whole bunch of lithographs from Beauty and the Beast when they reissued Beauty and the Beast. If you were a Ninja Turtle... Or not, jeez. If you're a Disney Reward member... I'm starting to get sleepy. If you're a Disney Reward member, you could pick up a special box set of Beauty and the Beast that came with like 6 lithographs, and there are some good looking lithographs, so I want to get those framed for my wife. And then the Ninja Turtle board game, when you got it came with like 8 or 9 lithographs to include a signed one from Eastman. And then I have a whole bunch of lithographs upstairs from Larry Elmore that I need to get framed. And then I have the one from Ken Meyer, which is the print of Jay the Mind Sculptor, or Jay the Bob Sculptor.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, so I think it's about time to call it a night.
Sucks to be you. Okay, so
yes.
As an example, a Ninja Turtles first print number 2, not graded, near mint is $300. And then as you go on and as you get them graded, they getting more and more expensive. But yeah, like a well, and by well graded, I mean like a 9 or 10. I mean like well graded.
9 or 10 out of
10.
10.
Oh.
10 means it's mint. And
I thought they
it was
went
also
to like 100.
It's also not it wasn't a normal size comic book either, which really caused issues because it didn't sit on shelves and stuff correctly. Kind of like these tabs are not sitting in the freaking correctly.
You should message Roberto and be like, I hate your holes.
I hate all of your holes. I'm about to cut off these fucking tabs, all of them, because they are causing me so much grief.
Well,
Everyone's gonna be like, I'm not buying that model. He's just nothing but. It's a great looking model. It's just seriously, it has some tab issues. I'm cutting myself. I'm gonna bleed.
And again, that is like one of his older stuff. So
well, as soon as we get off the podcast, whip the Dremel out and take care of it.
Dude, it's like midnight. I'm gonna go to bed because if I try to Dremel right now, I'd probably end up grinding my finger. I've been up since 5 a.m.
And then you have a story for next one.
yeah, and you have a story for the next hurt one.
Yeah. You know, I dremeled a hole in my finger. All right. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you like what you listen to, you can head over to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Models Workshop, where as little as $1 a day really helps out. For anyone who's listening, which I think all of our patrons actually listen, this month, which is the month of April, we picked up another microphone. So that's awesome. Upgrading people on the podcast, getting new members on, and all that good stuff. If you want to find us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Models Workshop. We're not cool, so we have the. You can find us on Twitter, twitter.com/NWH Podcast, where you find me tweeting away. Or you can also find Yeji and Clint over at twitter.com/SnickerKnack Studios. You got to make sure to put that knack because it's not Snicker Snack, because that just makes too much sense. And it doesn't have a K. It's Snicker NACK, because spelling the word right doesn't make sense either. Yeji.
What?
And it's not studios at the end of Twitter because that was too long.
Yeah, it's just Snicker Knacks over on Twitter.
Yeah, Snicker Knacks. But anyways, folks, thank you for tuning in. We love doing this for you guys. We really do. That's actually totally the truth. Sorry about no topic this week. We were kind of, in all honesty, there was a miscommunication. We thought, I thought that Mark and Drew were both going to be on the show this week, so I kind of left it open. And then they're like, no, we're going out of town, and he's not going to be on. So it was like, well, shit. Originally, I thought it was going to be Yeji and I just bullshitting, and then Clint's like, no, I'll be there. And it's like, yay, it's not just us. Awesome. But thank you for tuning in. Bye.
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 Thank you for joining us for another great episode of Models Workshop After Hours, your one-stop podcast for laughs and great painting advice. We come out at least every other week, barring emergencies and holidays, of course, covering a wide variety of hobby topics and basically talking about life in general. When you're not listening to us through your favorite podcatcher, you can find the entire crew hanging out at facebook.com/The Models Workshop. That's all one word smushed together, sharing all the cool things that we find floating around the internet and giving out painting advice. You can also find Larry on Twitter and Instagram at MWAH Podcast, and Yeji and Clint at the same at Snickernack, which is NICKERNACK. If you like what we do, please make sure to drop a quick review on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or whatever service you listen to us on. This helps us out greatly and gets the word of the After Hours out to everyone. Models Workshop is done out of pocket. We have no advertisers because we like to be able to be completely truthful with you. If you want to make a donation to help us out, you can at paypal.me/Models Workshop, or you can do a monthly service at patreon.com/Models Workshop. Once again, thank you for listening. Until next time, grab those brushes, paints, and get to painting.